What's up? How you doing? Good? Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are the
Colfax family.
And we're so glad that you came to join us. So today we're going to be talking about how
we met.
Yeah, how we met. So we are super excited to answer that for you today, and we're really looking forward to telling you our wonderful love story. So, honey, how did you meet
So we met back in high school, and that was freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So I met you in Spanish class.
Habla español.
Habla español, that's right. She still sounds good with it.
Low-key did not do good in Spanish,
But we first saw each other the very first day of high school.
That's true, yeah.
And where was that?
That was in gym. That was in the gym.
It was in gym.
And yeah, so funny thing is I actually was first introduced to Gordon by Gordon's ex-girlfriend.
At that time.
At that time it was his girlfriend.
She was my girlfriend.
And she pointed up to two different guys, which they literally looked like twins, and she said, "Oh, that one's my boyfriend." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just like kind of glance up, and I'm like, she's like, "Yeah, his name's Gordon." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like literally didn't think anything of it. Like just I was like, "Okay, that's some guy up there on the bleachers." Like, you know, and so we were standing like on the actual like basketball court, and we were like looking up at the bleachers.
And we were back in the
And she's
bleachers.
like waving to her boyfriend, and he waves back, and I'm just kind of like, "Who are you? Like, I've never seen you before. Like, you're really far away." Yeah. And so that was when we first saw each other. And so like literally like I didn't think anything of like,
yeah, we saw each other, and then
that was like it.
And that was it. That was the rest of the day.
And that was like in September of like 2008.
2008.
And literally we then reconnected, which that was where we actually officially met.
The official meet. That was Spanish.
That was Spanish class.
And this was second semester of freshman year is when we met. So
yeah. And that was in March, so that's kind of like 2009. So like, you know, we met in March, and that was right after spring break. And before spring break, my Spanish teacher was telling me, like, "You talk too much in my class," because I was like a real big social bird. Like I could get like the quiet kids. Thanks. I could get like even the quiet kids to like talk. And so she had to like move me all the time in different seats and different places. And so I ended up right by Gordon, and she literally stuck the like loudest girl next to the shyest guy.
So the quiet. Yep, I was
in the farthest corner of the class.
That's true.
And like little did we know we would like meet the love of our lives there. And so yeah,
she was always so funny because I was always on time. I was very, very punctual. But this one over here, first off, she'd always come in just looking absolutely gorgeous. So she had her hair done, she had her makeup done, she was wearing nice clothes, she looked great, and but she'd always come in with like a coffee, and she was always like 5 to 10 minutes late. So the teacher was already up there lecturing, and then she just comes in.
I'd like sneak my way in,
and she just smiles at the teacher, and the teacher would just point to her desk to tell her to go sit down over there. She was semi good with the time. So, what did you think of me?
Oh, I didn't think much. Okay, so no.
Wow.
Okay, so let's pause this. Let's pause it.
So, what did you think of me?
Well, I was like away from like all of my friends like in that class, because I'd actually made friends with people in Spanish like first semester. So when it was second semester, I was like, dang it, like I'm away from all of them. And first semester, they like all those people were like, I had literally an A first semester. So I was like, okay, hopefully this guy I'm sitting next to, and he was supposed to be my partner for like all the assignments. I'm like, hopefully he's smart and he's good at this, so then I could like, he can like help me with my grades. Like, so I was like, okay, so like hopefully he's like, you know, good. And literally like he was okay. He was okay. And I was not okay. Like I was not okay. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe like, and then so when I realized like I wasn't doing good in Spanish class, and I was like telling my parents, and both my parents, by the way, are bilingual. Both of them are. My mom's like trilingual, like she knows like every language, major language, and like.
Interesting. My parents are both bilingual too.
Yeah, so like you would think I would be good. No, not good, not good at all. So going back to Gordon, so like yeah, so I'm trying to like copy off of him and like all these things. Like I would like look at his test like side eye, like okay, like I think I write that.
Oh my goodness.
Like
wow.
I was
Truth
really
will come out.
But okay, Gordon, how did I get your number?
Okay. Well,
truth will come out, okay?
Well, I'm proud of this, so.
Oh, there you go. He's proud.
Yeah, so, you know, she had always, like, talked to me, like, during class, like, whenever we're doing assignments, like, hey, what'd you write down for this one? What'd you write down for this? How do you spell that out? Like, what kind of, you know, just anything. Like, she would just ask me all these questions, and it happened, like, after one of the classes, I just end up asking her, I'm just like, you know, hey, you know, could I get your number so we can, you know, keep talking, you know, pretty much about the homework, things like that. She might have better memory than I do, but I just remember she is that day like right by a stairwell at the high school, and I just end up asking her for a number. So,
and I was thinking in my head like, oh, this sweet nerdy guy like wants to help me with my homework, and. And like that was before I knew Gordon was like actually pretty popular with this. I still hadn't made the connection that the guy I had met back at the bleachers was this same guy. Like I hadn't yet connected that. So I'm like, oh, this sweet guy, like, you know, he wants to help me with my homework. I'm like, that's nice. And so like, and then I was kind of thinking, and I remember talking to my friend, I was like, no, that guy wouldn't like me. Like, you know, like, because like, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, he seems like he's in his own little world. So then like, literally he started texting me like the homework assignments. And like, at first it was just that. It'd be like, hey, you missed class. Like, here's the homework assignment. Or like.
Kept it simple.
Yeah. Or like, or if I was working on like homework, like the actual like homework assignment, and like, I'd be like, oh, do you have a question? Or like, you know, he'd be like, do you have a question? And I'd be like, yeah, like this, I need help with this. So it was pretty simple. And so that was pretty much all we talked. Like,
yeah.
Right? Like that was pretty much like how much we talked just back and forth. And then I remember him, yeah, like literally he really did not help me. He was not the one. I
got a good grade.
Yeah, no, I know you did. I did not. And that was my only like bad grade in high school. So I ended up the next year to retaking the class, and I actually got a B. But that was because I had a better buddy. I was like,
wow.
Anyway, how he actually started to pursue me was the school year ended, and I traditionally every year went to go stay, like me and my sister would go stay with my aunt in the summer who lives in Seattle. So like we would go stay in that area with her. And so that summer, like we're up there, and then all of a sudden, like
my name pops up.
His name pops up, and he just says like, hey, or something like that.
Yeah, I wasn't very sophisticated with my text messages. So yeah, it definitely was something of that sort, like, hey, you know, what's up?
Yeah, pretty like
something like
dude
that.
Talking. And I'm like, hey, like this is that dude from Spanish. Like, I'm not really like thinking anything. I'm like, oh, like, and I remember like I was with my sister and my aunt, and I remember like I was just kind of like I had this like confused look on my face, and I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, this guy from my Spanish class just messaged me, and my sister was like, what? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, why would he message me? Like, we were both all kind of confused. And my aunt's like, oh, he likes you. I'm
this
like,
was strictly Spanish thing.
I know, like that was what I thought, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like summertime, so I'm like, oh, this guy from Spanish class has messaged me. And so my aunt's like, no, he likes you. And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, is he cute? I'm like thinking, I'm like, he is actually kind of cute. Like he is cute, you know. And so he like. We just started texting back and forth, and then all of a sudden, like it was like the fourth or fifth text, you're like, can I call you? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I I do. It's like, now that I think back to it, I'm like, I don't know, like, you know, because like texting, like, is just super simple, super easy, but like when you call someone, like, it means a lot more, because it's like you want to like hear their voice and you want to connect with them at a deeper level. But I just, you know, I remember we talked in the summertime. We did. I just I'm kind of surprised at myself. I almost want to like give myself a pat on the back. Like, you did good back there, girl.
You did do good, actually. That was
something.
That was actually some good game though, because like literally, like, all the guys in high school, all they did was text. Like, no one ever wanted to talk on the phone. Like, I talked on the phone with my girlfriends, but like never really like a guy. And so for him to be like, "Can I call you?" I was like, this guy really likes me. Like, he even wants to call me. Like, and so I was like, I told my aunt and like my sister, I was like, "Hey, I'll be right back. I'm like, what?" I'm like, he's like literally wants to call me. And like, you didn't even give me much time to respond, because all of a sudden I just remember like you calling me. Like, you literally like called me, and I'm like, hello? Like,
hello?
He's like, hey. And I think we talked for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and he told me, so this was how I figured out who he kind of was in high school. He told me who his friends, like, he was hanging out with a friend. Like, he was actually, like, he's actually hanging out with his friends.
Like, actually have friends?
And I'm like, no, but like, you wanted to call me while you were hanging out with your guys. So I'm thinking, okay, this is really weird. Like, why does he want to call me when he's with his guy friends? And when he told me, like, who his friends were, like, his circle of friends, one of them, I was like, what the heck? Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay. And then it ended up being all good though. And so I realized though, like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't know you like played football, did swimming.
You know, I was actually popular.
Yeah, you actually like hung out with like the popular guy, like people in our school. And so I was like, and he's like calling me, and I'm like, so our school was very cliquey. So like you had different popular groups, like not the same popular students hung out with the same ones. Like
you have the sports
popular,
you know, the jocks or whatever, and that's the category I was in.
Yeah, and then you had another group of people who were like really into like fun and like.
Yeah, the wild ones.
Yeah, but they were still popular, if that makes sense. So, yeah, no, he was more on the jock side popular. I was more friends with the, like, wild people in high school popular, like, our grade. So, like, we had, like, everybody kind of had friends, but, like, most of the time people stuck to their own cliques. Mm-hmm. And so, for me, like, I had no idea he was, like, in that whole clique. And, like, and then, and I still had no idea that he was this girl that I met the first day of school. Like, I wasn't really like close to that girl. We had like the same classes, but like I still had no idea that now he was her ex. Like, I had no idea. Like when him and that girl broke up, I remember her like really sad in our English class. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know like who her, like I still didn't remember like
didn't quite.
I didn't connect them, you know. I was like, that jerk, and like, and then like, you know, so like I didn't know. So here he is, like calling me. He's like, hey, how are you? Like, I'm telling him I'm in Washington, and he's like, oh, we should hang out. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm in Washington for like a month, for like the summer, like, you know. And so yeah, it was like pretty much after that, like we literally started like texting each other like every day.
Mm-hmm. Texting, we'd do phone calls too.
Yeah.